Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mary's Creative Decor. For today's project, we'll be reupholstering this chair. Now, I did pick up 2 of these chairs from Facebook Marketplace. And as you can see, it has been cleaned and sanitized, but the fabric on the chair is very much worn on both chairs. So we're going to work on this one today. I also will have to refinish the hardwood on the chairs because the legs are really beat up. So I'm going to turn it around to the back side here, and we're going to start taking off the fabric on the chair. As you can see, it's one big piece along the back side of the chair. So I want to take it off in one full piece and use that piece as my pattern. My fabric is removed from the back of the chair, but I didn't want to remove the fabric from the front side of the chair because of the coils are stuffed with cotton and batting, and I don't have a sewing machine to sew them down. So what I decided to do, as you can see, I laid my fabric across the front of the chair. Then I used pins. The pins held my fabric in place, and then I took a thread and a needle and I sewed between each of the panels. So I'm going to spin around and show you the back side of the chair. Here is how I stitched between each coil or each panel. I pushed my needle to the back, then to the front, then I came back to the back. Here is when I was done. You can see where I pulled my fabric tight between each of the coils and I stapled it down. And here is a look at how I made the stitches on the chair. So I took my thread and my needle. I put a knot at the end of my thread. I started from the back, pushed my needle through, then push back. And then I pushed through again from the back and back down through the back. And I did this until my panels were formed. This was very tedious and time consuming, but worth it in the end. And here I'm just cutting away some of the excess material so that I have more room to work. Once my stitching is complete, I fold the fabric down, making sure that my coil is straight, and I staple it to the back side of the chair. For the final or last panel, you want to pull the fabric tight to the outside of the chair and staple along the contour of the wood. For my seat, I'm going to lay my fabric down, push it through the back side of the chair, flip it around, pull the fabric through to the back side, and staple it down. Then you want to flip your chair around, place it on its back, take your hands, smooth the fabric on the seat while pulling underneath the chair. Once you have it tight, you want to staple underneath in the middle. Now I'm going to set my chair right side up. I'm going to make sure everything is smooth, and then I'm going to continue pulling that fabric and stapling underneath the front side. Once you get those staples stapled all the way across, which may take some maneuvering, you might have to flip the chair over, but just make sure you get those staples as close to the legs as possible. Once you've gotten the staples as close to the leg as possible, you want to put a small split in the fabric close to the leg on the inside. Then you want to fold the fabric in an upward motion and then make a staple as close to the leg as you can get it, because now you have the split. So to give you guys a better idea of how I accomplished the look I showed you on the first chair, this is my second chair. So I released the cardboard, I took the staples out. Now this is the back of my chair where the panels are. I took the fabric, I pushed it through the backside, and I'm pulling the fabric on an upward motion. For the seat, I'm pulling the fabric in a downward motion. Up on the back and down on the seat. So I will pull it tight, making sure there's no wrinkles to the front, and staple down the top. And for the seat, I pull it in a downward motion, making sure the seat is smooth, and staple it to the back, starting in the center and working your way out toward each corner. Now you can see the staples that I stapled on the back and also the seat of the chair. Now that I've reached the leg or the chair, I want to cut my fabric as close to the chair as possible. And then I want to pull down, fold my fabric on either side of the leg, and staple down. Again, you want to staple the seat in a downward motion, and you want to staple the back upward. Now that it's pulled down and stapled nice and smooth, I'm going to cut away the excess material. Now you can see where the excess material have been cut away on the bottom of the chair and the top. You can see the hand stitching through the roping or coils or channels on the front side, and all the fabric is stapled and pulled tight. And once again, here is a view of what I've accomplished so far. Now I have cut out the panels for the arms of the chair, which goes down the side of the chair, the inside of the chair, and I've also cut out the panels for the back side of the chair. So let's start putting the panels on the arm of the chair. So I took the fabric, laid it over the top side of the chair, pulled it underneath and stapled it, and now I did like a roll fold, and I'm taking my staples and I'm stapling it along the front side of the wood, taking the shape that it had previously. I am showing you how I pull the fabric from the bottom. When I pushed it through, I'm pulling it upward and I'm stapling the fabric upward. So now we are about to start reupholstering the back side of the chair. So the batting and foam I pulled upward. I have some cardboard trim that I picked up from Amazon. So what we have to do is staple the cardboard trim, place the fabric down first, face down facing the inside of the seat, and then put the cardboard on top to give you a straight line. And then you want to staple along the cardboard as you see here. You want to curve the cardboard to fit the curve of the chair. Once you've stapled it tightly down, you want to pull your fabric down, and now you can see the curve of the chair. And you won't see any staples in the back side of your chair. Now I'm ready to flip my chair over on its side. to pull the fabric downward. I want to make sure my batting is pushed up as much or as smooth as possible. Smoothing out my fabric, I want to pull tight in the center and staple in the middle underneath my chair. Here is a different view as I smooth out the back side of the chair, pull it around and staple it underneath the back side of the chair. Once I'm done, I'm going to set the chair up and show you the back side of the chair. Now we're ready to pull the fabric around to the sides of the chair, and we'll soon be done. I've placed my chair back on its side. Never mind my daughter there, but it's back on its side, and I'm about to add the last panel underneath the arm of the chair. So what I'm doing is making a fold in the fabric, and that will come down along both edges that are folded from the front seat to the back panel. So I'm just seeing how it's going to fit. Then I'll straighten out my material and I will staple it to the top of the chair. And I will staple it all the way to the front or edge of the wood, following the shape that it had previously. Here I'm checking to make sure that I have enough fabric to cover the seams, and I'm adding some 1-inch foam. I'm sorry I did mention that I did add 1-inch foam to the seat cushion as well as some batting. But now I'm just going to add this 1-inch foam to the side, and this is just to make sure that everything is firm, and when I pull the fabric tightly, that there is no dips. It will be very smooth. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm making sure that my folds meet each seam. I'm pulling it tight, and then I'll staple underneath. Once I've gotten everything stapled, again, I'm going to cut away my excess material because I'm going to make the folds again toward the front of the chair, going along with the contour of the previous fabric, or also it's the shape of the wood. So I'm just folding back and making staples along those lines. I'm also making sure that my seams do meet, and when I reach the end, I will fold and pull tight around underneath again the bottom of the seat. If there's too much fabric or the fabric won't give, make a slit in the fabric and then continue your fold. Pull tight and staple underneath. I've added the fabric to my chair. Now you can see all of the staples showing. I have ordered some rope trim, and I will be covering up all the staples with the trim. Okay, I'm back. My cable trim has been delivered from Amazon, and it's very nice. It's a dark gray, and I'm going to use it to hide all the staples on my chair. So let's get started. I'm going to take my cable trim, and I'm pushing it as far down in the corner of the chair arm as I can get it, and I'm going to put a staple to hold it. And then I'll be taking my hot glue gun along with my Gorilla Glue sticks, and I am going to put the glue on the ribbon, and I will be stapling the I will be gluing the ribbon to the chair, and I'm gluing it to the wood, partly on the wood as well as on the material or the fabric, as you can see here. I'm curving the trim to fit the contour of the chair. And when I'm done, I'm going to come back and show you guys the finished product. I am back, and my trim has been added, and I've also put stain on the legs and arms and around the top side of my chairs, and they turned out absolutely stunning. The trim covered up the nails on the sides of the chairs perfectly. Doing the panels in the back was very hard and tedious, having to sew it by hand, but I'm glad I took on the project and it turned out great. Now, no, it's not perfect, but it beats going out paying $600 or better for these two chairs, or having to pay someone even that much to redo them. These are antique chairs and they turned out beautiful. Now, I purchased these chairs for my master bedroom. I am redoing my bedroom or making over my bedroom for the warm weather. And so they're sitting here in the room and they look absolutely stunning in the room. And if you guys have enjoyed watching this video, give me that thumbs up. If you're watching and haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends and family, and do come back for the next one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.